All right, so I'm seeing a lot of first-time home buyers in the market. I want to talk about renting versus buying. And I want to talk about the advantages of buying versus renting. But first, I want to tell you something. If you're a first-time buyer and you've worked really hard and you've saved that money, you've took care of your credit, and you're ready to buy, meaning at the current rates and current market conditions, you can afford to buy a home comfortably and meet your goals. That's caveat number one. If you're stretching yourself, then it's a no-go. So renting definitely may come into the equation. So this video is just about people that have worked really hard to save up money for that down payment, got the good credit, got everything going and ready to buy. All right, so first of all, if you're renting, and let's assume purchase price is $250,000. So let's say the mortgage is $1,500 to $1,600. So if you're renting, you're going to be looking at about 15, 16, 17 grand that you're going to pay in rent that first year, which would be more than your house down payment that you'd have to pay to buy that new home, by the way. In addition to that, if you are renting, then there's no tax break. So you get to write off the interest on your mortgage, every year. Well, that interest, especially the first few years, is pretty heavy. So while you're paying that mortgage payment, number one, you're knocking down the balance of your mortgage, which is basically like a mini savings account in the form of your house. Number two, you get tax benefits. So basically you get to write the interest off against your income, which basically reduces your reporting income, which could even put you in a different tax bracket with even less taxes. So if you figure that in, let's say that's another $5,000 or $6,000 advantage. So from a renting perspective, you paid $15,000 and you didn't get the $5,000 or $6,000 advantage. Now you're 21 grand in the hole. Well, guess what? If you get to knock that money down, you're also going to probably get a decent tax return because of income brackets and things like that, which will also equal upgrades you want to do to the home, things like that. So there's an advantage there that adds another piece of value to it. Now, I can't guess what your tax return is going to be because there's income coming in and you just can't use that as a parameter without more detail. However, just in this short, brief conversation, we've talked about $20,000 to $30,000 that you're giving up to rent a house. Now, look, if you're only going to be in that house 1 or 2 years, that's another conversation where it may make more sense to rent. But if you're going to be in a house at least 3 to 5 years, give them a market time to materialize. And last but not least, housing prices are supposed to go up around average of 4%. Some saying 8, some saying 4, some saying 2 or 3. In the last 44 years, housing prices have only went down 4 times. 3 of them were 2007 to 2011. Every other year, housing has gained value. So with that being said, if you tack on the value that you didn't get in the gain, and let's just take the averages of 4%, and this is coming from Goldman Sachs and people that got a bigger crystal ball than me, that are on a $250,000 house, that's another 10 grand that you didn't get to realize from appreciation in your home value. So we kicking $30,000 or $35,000 so you can rent that you're giving up. And that's your first big financial life decision. Think about it.